What's up, Internet? Shane back with you, and I have my very good friend, Travis Simpson, here on Burning Questions, now our third episode. What's up with you, Travis?
Not much. You asked me to be here, and I'm here.
That's how it works. Let's eat some spicy wings. Thank you so very, very much to our friends at Main Street Russellville for powering this episode up for us, and my very good friend Robbie and his gang at Daddy Smackin' Wings for providing these delicious wings. Wing number one, we have lemon pepper, their wet lemon pepper seasoning. Let's go. All right, here we go. Nothing to it, as you would expect, a false sense of hope. Really good stuff.
It's pretty good.
You get the lemon?
Yeah.
Yeah? A little kick of the pepper. The first question I have for you is, as a journalist, as somebody here that works for the newspaper, also an author, but we'll get into that a little later, what are some of the most memorable stories for our viewers straight from the horse's mouth of a newspaper journalist?
Yeah, so I was the sports editor for 10 years-ish, so I've got a lot of good sports memories. And of course, some of my very favorite ones involve teams winning it all. So when Pottsville won state in basketball, I rode the bus up with them.
Whoa, okay.
Because I wanted to do a story, like a column on like how they kind of got their mindset right for the game. And they won. And of course, when the Cyclone football team won state, that was another really great memory. But one of my favorite things was because I started, I didn't want to drive myself. So I started like concocting this plan to ride up with the teams when they would go.
Okay.
And every time I would do that, they would win. And so it started to, like, I don't know if you know a lot about coaches, but sometimes they get kind of superstitious.
Absolutely.
And I hope it's okay for me to name him, but Coach Fuller, one year I rode with the soccer team like 3 years in a row. They won state, or like 2 years in a row. I can't remember exactly how many years in a row, because they've won it like nonstop.
Yeah, it's a dynasty. Russellville Cyclones soccer dynasty going on right now for all y'all listening outside of town. Dude, don't forget Russellville soccer and this dynasty they got going on right now. Shout out to my man, Coach Fuller. But
so
you think a lucky charm?
Yeah, so I was like the lucky charm for a little bit. And one year Hector was going for softball, and the game was situated at a time where I couldn't ride with the soccer team anymore. I had to go up separately. And so I told Coach Fuller, and there was like a long pause. And he says, well, could you like send a jacket or something? And then he orchestrates, after he's like, well, when's your game? And I tell him, he's like, when's it over? And he orchestrates to pick me up in front of the stadium, take me to dinner with the lunch with the team, and then come back, hoping that was enough for the mojo. But they lost that game. And so when I walked across the field to interview him after him, the first thing he said was, well, you got to write the whole way.
You got to ride that. Hey.
And now they've done it a bunch of times without me, so now I'm
okay.
Unnecessary.
But initially, okay, we can say Travis Simpson, Courier editor, author, / lucky charm.
Right.
Wing number two.
Okay. All right, watch this. I want you to behold my wing eating abilities.
Well, there's a video short clip for all of you that are just not seasoned professionals at eating wings like that. Wing number two, some regular buffalo. I got some catching up to do. Cokefield, strong like you. We've talked about this before. What was it like to see someone else actually reading your produced book, like seeing your book in the wild?
Yeah.
Well, how did that make you feel? Like, how did it make you feel? Was that a rewarding feeling? Was it surreal? Was it like a dream?
Yes, but also supremely normal.
Wow.
A lot of times when you work for something for so long, when it gets there, it's not the end all be all of what I want to achieve as an author. So It was great to see my book in the bookstore. It was great to see it connect with readers. It was great to win the awards that Strong Like You won. But I always think about this this Bob Dylan quote where he says, "An artist has to be careful never to feel like he's arrived somewhere."
Okay.
And so by that, I felt like he meant like you can't ever feel like this is it. This is my art. You have to always be searching for the next way to broaden your art, make it more. And so my goal isn't just to be in bookstores; it's to be in a lot of readers' hands. And so I'm continuing to work towards that.
I have a great deal of respect for that, man. Much love for that statement right there. More about the journey.
Yeah.
Right? Constantly learning, constantly developing. Rolling right along. Let's get into wing number 3, Daddy Smackin' Wings, honey mustard. What do you have to say to people that would think, like, maybe a lot of younger people may have this perspective? Like myself in radio, print is a dated media.
Yeah, you get that a lot. A lot of people when I tell them that I work for the newspaper, that I'm the editor of the Courier, a lot of people are like, "There's still a newspaper in Russellville," and some of them get excited, and I love that. And then I get to tell them, "Oh, we're still a daily newspaper. In fact, we're not even like a little weekly." So,
Right.
But I always say to people that question the need for print journalism. There's a couple things. One, nobody in print journalism is doing it to get rich. They're doing it because they love journalism and care about telling good stories and accurate stories. Nobody at your local newspaper is like Tucker Carlson sitting there making bank to say whatever.
Mudslinging.
Yeah, whatever his corporate overlords want him to say.
100%.
There's nobody putting
the mothership, if you will. There is no Courier mothership.
And then also there's no, I can't tell you the number of times that a story that ends up being national or getting very, very big starts at a local newspaper. It's just some journalist sitting at a city council meeting or paying attention to this or that and writing a small story, and then the AP picks it up, and then a broadcast journalist picks it up and runs it on the nightly news, and then it blows up to the next thing, and almost all that will almost always funnel back down to some print journalist who cares about journalism doing their job. And so it's so important to keep your newspaper alive for that reason, but it's also, there's 150 years of history in the Courier building in a back room.
If nothing else, and I've said that 100 times, that it's been there it came with the Arkansas River Valley, basically, as we know it today.
Yeah.
It's always been there. So support your local newspaper. Listen to free radio and eat some spicy wings. Wing number 4, Cyclone Fever, one of my personal favorites. Let's go.
That's starting to get a little heat. Wait, no. It's not hot at all. It does not bother me at all.
All right. So, as we're chomping on some Cyclone Fever, dude, as a fellow elder millennial, I guess we'll say, we grew up in the golden age of wrestling, man.
Yeah.
And as we film this today, we have recently lost the legendary Hulk Hogan of the Squared Circle. What's your favorite 80s, 90s, the golden age of wrestling, professional wrestling, if you ask me? In your opinion, what's your favorite moment, or maybe favorite wrestler?
Well, it's funny. Not funny that Hogan died, but funny that you bring up the wrestling question, because my wife and I just recently started rewatching wrestling.
Oh, wow,
together.
okay.
It's like the perfect amount of like sheer stupidity to like check out from like how awful the world is sometimes.
Absolutely. This is a correct answer, by the way.
So my current favorite wrestler is probably Toni Storm with AEW.
Okay.
She does like a 1920s.
Like a flapper get up?
Yeah, like
Yo.
and she speaks with like a transatlantic accent, and
Whoa, shtick.
and she's really really funny. But my favorite legend has got to be Sting. It's always been Sting. When I was watching in the '90s, him lurking up in the rafters and coming down and chasing off the NWO, it was all the things that I liked.
I love it. I love it. I was a big Sting fan too. Do you prefer colorful Sting or scary with the bat Sting?
Scary with the bat.
That's also the correct answer. Speaking of scary, not necessarily holding a bat, but staring us right in the face, are you ready for what we get on this show as the special spicy buffalo?
Sure.
Let's get into it. The final wing. Let it simmer. Let it simmer. Are you feeling it? Very salty.
Yeah.
My pores know what's coming, so they've already opened. As soon as I picked that wing up, I started to feel a little,
Kind of a slower eat.
yeah, I started to feel a little of the front end of that. So, wow, and here it comes. Okay, so as we tend to do with the fifth and final wing, Travis Simpson, as we are simmering just a little bit, what could Russellville, in your opinion, as somebody that is ingrained here in the Arkansas River Valley, use more of, and what could you use less of in Russellville? What could Russellville use more of, and then what could we do a little less?
So I'll start with more.
Okay.
I would love to see more things for. We've got bukus and bukus of outdoor things for kids and people to do. I would love to see some more like indoor activities, like trampoline park. Or I really miss our arcade, so I would love to have an arcade.
You know who you are.
Yeah. And the nerd in me wants like a place to buy comic books. There's
Okay.
nowhere to buy comic books here.
Okay.
And what I would love to see less of is like pointless naysaying, like people trying to do stuff in the community and they're just met with like people saying it can't happen or picking apart how it's not happening the way they think it should happen.
Okay.
I think we as a community got to get away from that and sort of like come together to make Russellville all that it can be.
Maybe less talking online and maybe more talking over some spicy wings face to face.
That's it. Yeah.
I knew it was going to be a great answer. You've been an outstanding guest, Travis, on our third episode now of Burning Questions. Thank you to Daddy Smackin' Wings. Thank you to my friend Danielle Hausnick and the board at Main Street, Russellville. You hide it so well, and I'm trying to stay with you, man, but my mouth is on fire. We have an opportunity now to take a cool down wing from our friends at Daddy Smackin' Wings. Let's bring in the PB and J wings. Okay. From, once again, our friends at Daddy Smackin' Wings, the PB and J wing, peanut butter sauce, strawberry jelly on top, and I got to know more about these books, man. Let's get into it.
Sure.
Yeah, boy.
Can I get another napkin? There we go.
Yeah.
Well, they're both YA contemporaries.
Young adult, for those of you playing the home game.
Yeah, and contemporary means it's set in our own time or our own, in a reality. It's not a fantasy or a sci-fi, contemporary. And they both sort of tackle growing up as a young boy and all of the bad messaging that you can get from society about what it means to be a man. So in Strong Like You in particular, it's about a 15-year-old linebacker who is searching for his father across the hills of the Ozarks, and he idolizes his dad. He thinks his dad is the paragon of what it means to be strong. And what he sort of kind of comes to learn as he's searching is that his dad's actually in a drug circle, like a drug dealer. And so he kind of has to deconstruct all these things that he thinks make him a tough person. And it sort of asks, what's it mean to be strong? And says, well, strength is actually vulnerability.
Beautiful. Get into that book. Where can we find Strong Like You?
You can find Strong Like You at Dog Ear Books or anywhere that sells books. Should either have it or be able to get it for you. Copefield is it's about a boy who plays baseball, and his dad's like a former Major League Baseball player, and they moved back to this small town where he's from, and so his dad's like this legend, can do no wrong in the eyes of the community because he's a kid from little Podunk, Arkansas, who went on to play in the majors. But the thing that nobody really sees is that he's addicted to painkillers from a Tommy John surgery, and when he's using, he becomes kind of vicious monster behind closed doors. And so it's really about his son Crawl learning to speak up, because Crawl himself is ashamed of this fact. He doesn't like that the whole world thinks his life is this great thing, but actually it's this horrible thing, so he's embarrassed of that. He also thinks it's partially his fault. He's scared of what would happen to his family if he spoke up. There's a million reasons not to speak up. And so when he gets sentenced to community service, he meets this punk rock girl, and she's sort of the opposite of that. Like, she's going to tell you exactly what she thinks the moment she thinks it, maybe sometimes to her own detriment. And he hates her because he can't stand how much she talks and how many questions she asks him, and the fact that she keeps nothing close to the chest. But through their relationship that sort of grows as they're stuck together doing community service, he starts to understand how important it is for him to speak his own truth, no matter how dangerous that might be to his family.
Right on. For my man Travis Simpson, get in on your local newspaper. Pick up Strong Like You and Copefield, wherever you can find a book, especially here locally in our bookstores. For Main Street Russellville, Daddy's Smacking Wings, and once again, Courier editor and local author Travis Simpson, I'm Shane. This has been Burning Questions. Peace. Thanks, bro. My man.